Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Alex, and the Nuggets have officially won Game 4. They now lead the series against the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals 3-1. And oh my god, the Nuggets fan in me is so excited right now. I know you can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm just so excited. My god, this is a game that I actually think the Miami Heat could have very well won, but I think they completely squandered it. And the reason why I believe that is because Jokic got a really weird ticky-tack foul for his fifth foul, and it made him sit out the game for 5 minutes straight. And whether you think it was a foul or a little bit of an embellishment from Bam Adebayo, either way, Jokic still got the foul. And at that point, I believe the Heat were only down 10 points, and there was still a lot of time left in the fourth quarter. And I just felt like that was the moment for them to do it. And it just didn't happen. The Nuggets, a team that are consistently not that great, especially when Jokic is not on the floor, actually won their minutes with non-Jokic minutes. And a lot of it has to do with Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown came up big in this game. He had 21 points, big buckets in the third and fourth quarter as well. Had that really tough layup over Bam Adebayo as like a reverse. It was insane. The amount of English that he had off the backboard was insane. Jeff Green hit a nice shot in the corner. KCP hit some shots as well, had some nice defensive plays. Jamal Murray's playmaking in this game was absolutely phenomenal. That one pass that he had to the corner, I think that was to Jeff Green. That was a great pass. Obviously, it's the correct pass. It doesn't seem like it's a big brain play, but Jamal Murray not being really known as a passing point guard, more of a score first guy. He is now the first player ever in their first 4 finals games to have 10 plus assists. So I think that's very impressive from Jamal Murray, and just a huge credit with how much improvement that I think he's shown in the playoffs and just how much of a playoff riser he is. And then once Jokic came back in, I forget exactly how much the Nuggets were up, but it was 10 or like 12 or 14 or something like that. And the Heat just couldn't recover. I love Bam Adebayo. I love Jimmy Butler. What those guys bring are incredible, especially on the defensive end. And guys like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, all of those guys have been huge in this playoffs. But even coming into the series, obviously you have your Batmans, Jimmy Butler and Jokic. And you got your Robins, Bam Adebayo and Jamal Murray. But you got to have that supporting cast. You got to have the Alfreds. And when you just look at the Alfreds, of course, again, like I said before, the Heat, their supporting cast around Jimmy and Bam have been great, but the Nuggets just have a better supporting cast, and in this game, at least in this game in particular, they showed out. And again, shout out to Bruce Brown, shout out to Jeff Green, KCP with timely threes, but also shout out to Aaron Gordon, who led the team in scoring with 27 points, which is absolutely phenomenal, especially in that second quarter, taking advantage of smaller defensive players on him and hitting some very timely threes as well. I believe he hit 3 threes in this game. Again, played great defense on Jimmy Butler, even though Jimmy Butler still, he's still doing his thing, but, Aaron Gordon is doing what he needs to do. Aaron Gordon also had 6 assists in this game. He's just been making the right reads, making the right plays. And that's something that the Nuggets just need, especially since even, the Batman and Robin of the Nuggets, Jamal and Jokic, they didn't necessarily have the greatest game. Jokic only had 23 points on 8 of 19 shooting. And while I still thought he had a good game, this is obviously not the standard that he has set in the entire playoffs and even the finals in general. And Jamal Murray as well, even though his playmaking was spectacular, he only had 15 points and shot 5 of 17 from the field. Again, once Jokic went out with that 5th foul, there was no signs anywhere in this game other than Aaron Gordon, popping off in the second, where I just felt like that the Nuggets were in control. I just felt like that is, if something happened, especially with Jokic getting fouled out, the Heat could very well turn it around. And it just didn't happen. And to talk about why I think the Heat kind of squandered this game, let's look at the supporting cast, who I think is the main culprit for letting them down and now being down 3-1. Max Strus, yet again, another stinker, had 0 points, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. Gabe Vincent, again, had a bad game. I kind of blamed his the Game 3 performance with his foul trouble. That did not happen today. He only had 2 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. Not good. Even Caleb Martin wasn't really that great. He did have 11 points, but 5 of 12 from the field. Not the greatest. And those 3 guys are what really brought the Heat to the point where they are now in the finals to even get here. I thought those guys have been huge in, winning games, hitting timely threes and stuff like that, but they just haven't been there for a majority of the finals. And it's got me questioning, why is Erik Spoelstra not giving guys like Duncan Robinson more playing time? Again, in this game, Duncan Robinson did play more minutes than Strus and Gabe Vincent, but I think he should have played more. Every time he is on the court, he's doing some great things on offense, and while I understand the defensive limitations of Duncan Robinson, you're down 3-1. You gotta do something. So if there's something to look forward to in this game 5, I think Duncan Robinson needs to start. And I know that sounds kind of crazy. And even if he doesn't start, he needs to have a lot more minutes than just 25 minutes. In this game in particular, he had 25 minutes. I think he needs to play more. I really do. Kevin Love also had some really impactful minutes, doing a lot of dirty work, hitting some timely threes as well. Only played 18 minutes. I think he needs to play more. Again, I understand the defensive limitations, but you're down 3-1, and I think you need to rock with the guys who have honestly given you the most production, and that's been Kevin Love and Duncan Robinson as kind of the Alfreds of the Heat. I think they just need some more playing time. And while Jimmy Butler statistically looks pretty solid, I also think he needs to be a lot more aggressive, and I also think he needs to not have the ball in his hand as much. Understand, again, Gabe Vincent has been really good as well, so like having, those guys popping off and allowing Jimmy Butler to kind of play off ball is very helpful. But because those guys aren't hitting, I just feel like Jimmy Butler is trying to lean more into the one-on-one game, still doing his playmaking. Of course, he's a really good playmaker, but I just think he needs to be more aggressive, especially off the ball. And I think if you have guys like Duncan Robinson running around, I think that can definitely help. I think Kyle Lowry is another guy. He had 33 minutes in this game. I think he possibly needs to start as well. And I think if you do have Kyle Lowry as a starter, I think that makes things a little bit easier for Jimmy, and he can allow himself to play off ball a little bit more. And Bam Adebayo, while I think defensively he's been fantastic, and I think he's done a good enough job on Jokic, even though Jokic is still doing his thing. You can't stop Jokic, and I think Bam just in general has done a good enough job to, make things tough. But offensively, he scored 20 points today on 19 shots. And this is a common occurrence. If he scores 21 points, he did it on 20 shots. If he scored 25 points, he did it on 24 shots or something like that. Even if he is accurate from the field, it's just not efficient offense, and it's really leaning into what the Nuggets want. And again, something that we've seen throughout the entire series is that even though the Nuggets are winning games, they haven't been winning the three-point battle. And today is the one day where they finally decided they wanted to make threes. They were 50% from three, 14-28, and the Heat, again, weren't that great from three-point range, 32%, 8 of 25 from three. Things just aren't looking good for the Heat, and again, the only team to come back 3-1 in the finals is that pesky LeBron James in the 2016 Cavaliers. Do I think the Heat are going to come back? No, I don't think so. I did have the Heat in 6, so would it surprise me that the Heat win the next game? No, not at all. But do I think they're going to come back 3-1? No. I just think this Nuggets team is too talented. It's what I said in my preview. It's what I've been thinking this entire series. Nothing has honestly surprised me other than the fact that the Nuggets haven't really been shooting very well from three, and MPJ has kind of disappeared. He didn't play in the fourth quarter again this game. But I think this series is over. Again, it's not technically over, but man, the Nuggets are just too talented to lose. Well, those are my thoughts on this Game 4 matchup. Let me know down below what y'all think. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and sub. I'm trying to get 2,000 subs by the end of the year, so it'd mean a lot. Check out my socials down below in the description. You can also check out this video where I did a recap of the game previous. So if you're interested to see what I had to say then, make sure to check it out. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.